Good day dear chess lovers, Soren here, and in today's video I want to share with you an interesting game played by legendary American chess player Robert James Fischer. In this game we are not going to see dashing sacrifices, but instead Fischer will demonstrate instructive and exciting endgame skills. His opponent is Mexican FIDE master Armando Acevedo Milan, who in 1966 and 1970 represented Mexico in chess Olympiads. This game is from 1970 Siegen Chess Olympiad. Siegen is a city in Germany. So, in the game Milan had white pieces and he opened up with d4, to which Fischer answered with knight f6, knight f3, c5. Fischer is choosing the so-called Spielmann-Indian, which is not a popular one. Black is avoiding the main theoretical battle. Fischer wants to drag his opponent out of the opening preparation and then outplay. Bishop g7, knight bd2, black castled, nothing special, both players are hurrying to develop their pieces. Knight e5, knight c6, knight df3, rook c8, after which an exchange of knights on c6 followed. Bishop h3 and bishop d7. Of course, in here white rejected the offer of exchange of light squared bishops, which could allow black to weaken white's king side. And the interesting thing is that after bishop c6 we no longer see bishop h3. White could actually give a try to repeat the moves, although I guess that after bishop h3 Fischer was intending to play e6. Yeah, Fischer is not a player with whom you can draw that easily. Bishop b7, and now already, yeah, to bishop h3 you should answer with e6, but instead white played a4, knight e4 f3, knight d6 e3. Somehow white is weakening his position by putting the pawns on the third rank. A takes b6, so white is managing to open up the a file, but the interesting thing is that later it will be Fischer who will take the whole control over that file. e4, f4. Already this is a mistake. According to Stockfish, better is d takes c5 and then c4. Here is one of the possible lines, and then knight takes e4, and seems like that in this case white is getting a decent position, although again if we take a look at white's king side it looks vulnerable. Also, I don't really like this pawn on e3, and white has to be very careful because soon can face serious problems. In the game after knight f2 e4 we see f4, so I decided to lock up the position, but now suddenly black is managing to gain control over the a file, and that's something which allows black to gain advantage. White is not allowing queen a4 intrusion, but now by going for the exchange of queens Fischer will take control over that file, and then c4 followed, undermining the pawn on b3, and after b4 Fischer took the whole control over the a file. At this point, for a viewer it may be a little bit difficult to figure out how is Fischer going to realize the advantage, how is Fischer going to make use of the fact that he has the total control over the a file. But let's take a look, let's not hurry and calmly follow how is Fischer going to make a progress. So he's boldly offering the exchange of queens because he has a plan. Fischer has a plan. He's okay with centralizing his king. The central is locked up. We are heading towards simplifications, and we know that in the end game the king is the strongest attacking piece. Fischer knows it, of course, Fischer knows it, and he goes for it. Now it's time for black king to intrude inside white's position, white's camp, by using the vulnerable a file. There it goes, black king is coming. Bishop f2. Well, of course white could try his luck and go for h3 g4, but seems like that even in this case you can't get much. White's position is that hopeless. Anyways, white decided to acquire a waiting strategy, just make random waiting moves with the bishop, and meanwhile Fischer's king is coming, and right now the threat is rook takes d1, rook b1, and now we reached the critical position where with a nice tactic, Fischer destroyed opponent's defense. Can you figure out how to proceed with the game? Ready? There we have it. First, Fischer announced a check from a2, and after rook b2 went for knight takes c3. White's fortress is destroyed. Now in case of rook takes a2, knight takes a2 will follow, and then black will also win this pawn on b4. Victory will become matter of moves. White played king takes c3 but resigned after rook a1. How are you going to protect this knight? Also, there is a huge pressure on b4. In case of king d2, rook takes d1 check is winning. This is simple. And if rook d2, then just rook c1 check followed by bishop takes b4 checkmate. A very instructive game, of course. Once again, we see how useful can be an activation of the king in the endgame. Needless to say that Fischer's endgame skills were unparalleled. So, in the end, a chess puzzle for you where the task is to win with the white pieces. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in my next video.